Hello, it's me, Jack-a-Lopium. Welcome along. We are here looking at Library of Ruina. What's Library of Ruina, you might ask? It's some kind of SRPG or JRPG. But yeah, don't go. It's actually more of a KRPG. The game is developed in Korea, so we're probably looking at the same sort of levels of fun as other favourites of the channel. Plebby Quest, that's a South Korean game, and Troubleshooter, which is probably overall my favourite SRPG. I love it. Still not finished that off camera, so maybe we'll do a third season. Who knows? I'm getting near the end though. So yeah, this is Library of Ruina. It's developed and published by Project Moon, who brought us Lobotomy Corp a couple of years ago. It was, well, Lobotomy Corp, similar kind of systems sort of as Library of Ruina. Library of Ruina is a turn-based, card-based library battler is how they describe it. So yeah, it's a card game. Let's look at it, shall we? Instead of continually going on. Right, this is what it looks like. I've played for about 10-11 hours, and this is what we look like at the moment. There's currently 3 people in the party. There's Roland, who is like a main story character, and then these other 2 guys are his assistants, Matilda and Georgia. And we are on, well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 floors opened up, and basically, if you've seen Lobotomy Corp, they pay heavy kind of it's all based on the Kabbalah, so you'll have kind of Kabbalah words and kind of concepts all the way through. I'm not massively up on the Kabbalah, I have to admit. So yeah, what can we do? We can do 3 things. I think the first thing we need to do is check out a battle. Let's have a quick look at our cards for now. The first things first, these are our cards. You start with 9 cards. I mean, you start off with the basic kind of cards, and as you go through the game, you will be deck building quite heavily. And as you might imagine from games such as, like you've played like your Magic the Gatherings or Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, or Pokemon cards, or whatever the kids play these days. I've not been up on TCGs for a long time. I mean, I stopped pretty much around the time of the Dune CCG. I'm a massive Dune fan. The books, the movies, everything, and I love the TCG. I've still got my Dune TCG cards, man. They're worth like thousands and thousands of dollars now, because they're really out of print now and heavily sought after. So you start off with a bunch of kind of basic cards, and then as you go through the game, you will pick up rare cards, epic cards, and kind of unique cards. There's also, again, if you think back to your Magic the Gathering, you'll have a number of energy that each card will cost to lay down. It stretches from 0 all the way to 3. So, oh, things moved. Yeah, it looks like so the game gets updated quite often. It's in early access still. It came out in May, or it arrived on Steam in May. So as you can see, you start off with 9 cards. They're over here. And if you think back to your Magic the Gathering, or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or any kind of card game for that matter, like a TCG card game, you'll be familiar with the kind of layout of these cards. In the top left hand corner is the number of energy to play each card. It ranges from 0. 0 is like a really decent card actually, and we will look at why as we look at the combat. So it stretches from 0 to 3. 3 is the kind of massive hits. You know what I'm saying? So that would do 3 hits there if we highlight the card Rampage. It shows the 3 attack types, which we'll go into. It will be slash damage, it will be pierce damage and blunt damage, as you can see from our stats over here. And the way to read these stats as kind of HP over here, armor here. I think they call it, what do they call it? They don't call it armor, they call it like I don't know what they call it, we'll see it. And then you've got your speed dice, which tells you how many dice you roll at the beginning of the game. I actually roll 2 dice on this character, whereas most people only have 1, which is why like your 0 cards then become part of your play. There is like quite a steep learning curve, so there is quite a lot to work out as well before you can even get in on playing a game, you know what I'm saying? So you've got like these damages are against your health, and these are against your stagger. That's what they call it. It's stagger, not armor. Okay, fine. And then the other kind of card that you have, other than your kind of attack cards, these are your attack cards, let's say, in our attack deck. So 9 cards. Each character has 9. There you go. And you can choose from the deck here. Of course, you do want to use as high a kind of rarity as possible, so everything will be kind of you know, rare, or well, I guess that's epic. And then you've got your librarian info, which is everything that's equipped to your librarian, as you might expect. You want to kind of build your equipment deck to give as many passive attributions as possible. So the best kind of page I've got is a Mars page at the moment, although it used to give me a lot more passive attributes before the update. These are equipment. I don't currently have any. Oh yeah, here we go. Hey, we've got a cheek, a piece of equipment. Nice. Hey, we do have some equipment. Look at that. Alright. So these weren't there last time I was playing the game. I've never seen these before in my life. A 1% chance to boost evade dice. 5% chance to boost pierce attack. I am going to equip attack. Hey, and I've changed as well. Okay, so I've been playing for about 10 hours and I'm up to Urban Legend. I mean, you will be grinding over time, but you basically have to invite a bunch of people to your library and then you battle them. So I think what we're going to do is go into this fight right here. So when we come into the battle, we have to send out an invite to the library. So we actually, it's like an arena battle, I guess. So we would send the invite and we would have to fight these 3 guys. So let's send the invitation. And there you go. That is very much a kind of Kabbalah or Kabbalic diagram there. We actually come from this guy right up the top. They call it a stage player game to kind of keep the kind of literary kind of theme going. So here we go. We're going to be fighting Sam, Mars and Lulu. I think it's just one battle this time, right? Yeah, so this is what it looks like. We've got a bunch of quotes down here. With the things I used to wear, it's like they were part of my body being gone. I'm kind of stuck. Just be careful not to trip over your own feet. So let's get this started. So there's me back there. I do roll 2 die, while everybody else rolls 1. We then have to choose the cards based on the number of lights we've got here. So we've got 3 each, and they've just got 1 each. So there you go. We have to make up 3 out of our 2 dice. So this is where you would end up with 0 dice. So you could play a 0 and a 3. Or, well, if we had a 1, we could then play a 2 and a 1. But like I say, this is where your zeros come in handy. So you could then do a 0. And you could do a 3. Actually, I'm going to put the 3 on that activation. And then the 0. Actually, I'm not going to play that at all. So let's put a 3 action card onto this guy, and then this activation will use a 0 onto this guy. So each bad guy is going to have a set of defenses as well. As you can see, let's click on the enemy. So he will basically tank all of the damage from slash damage, and then he's not vulnerable to anything, but he is armored against slash. So you don't want to use slash at all, really. So what does this enemy mean? So if we click on this enemy, it means that he is, it looks like he's vulnerable to blunt damage. Does it? Yeah, he's very weak to blunt damage, and then slash damage he's weak to. So we want to avoid pierce damage on this guy. Okay, so I think we're going to use that onto that guy. And then this enemy is vulnerable to slash damage. And then he's kind of resistant to blunt damage. So we would then put a slash onto this guy, and then we roll the dice. There we go. Let's see what we do. So we do a bunch of damage, and we push this guy back. He's the kind of main boss. We've staggered the main boss. Was that? Yeah, thankfully. So I don't know exactly how the light system works. See, this guy is now down to 1. So if we roll again, we've only got 1 light here. So he can only use like a single light card there. Who's the guy that doesn't like... Oops, not that. So there, because he's weak against blunt damage, we're going to set this guy onto this bad guy here. So this guy will now be attacking this guy. So they're basically swapping over, but he has got 4 lights on. So if we add any 4 strength cards, I don't believe there's a 4 strength card. And then with the kind of main character Roland, we've got a 5 and a 2. We now have 4 lights, so we could put a 2 activation card on each of these. So as you can see, we've got an overpower and a set fire. But now that he's staggered, he'll just take a load of crit damage. So and it means he is now vulnerable to every type of attack. As you can see, he's now vulnerable to slash, he's vulnerable to pierce and blunt altogether, and that is because he's been staggered. So we'll roll again. There you go. I don't know if we killed him there. Oof. There you go. We have put him down, and we got another Book of Mars. Fantastic. So these are abnormality pages. These will be generated as you raise, I guess they like to call it temperature. I think they call it temperature anyway. Like team emotion level, it's called like an emotion level. As you get hotter, you do have to take these kind of negative or positive traits. It is best to try and keep these as positive as possible. However, some of the negative stuff can be pretty good. So here on the negative one, you would gain 1 to 2 strength at the end of each scene. At the end of each scene, if the librarian did not deal any damage with offensive dice, you would lose 25% of your max HP. And I reckon that could be pretty worthwhile doing, because we are, you know, just about to tie up this fight. Alright, let's roll again. So the main kind of boss is gone, and it's just these 2 grunts here. We've only got 2 ones there, so that'll have to do. It's not great, but what more can you do? So this guy is weak to slash, so have we got any slash? Yes we do, and we do have 2 lights, so let's pop in there. There you go, that's staggered this guy, so we can put him down this turn. And this was basically just like a kind of defensive battle. Let's put Pale Hands on. Let's put it on our main guy. Why not? It's a positive trait. So yeah, each round is called a scene. Again, keeping the kind of literary theme going. Okay, so here we go. This guy weak to slash. So hey, we've only got 1 card left. So let's put it on our 3. Do as much slash damage as we can. Put some bleeds on as well. And then this guy, you can do... he's ended up drawing a set of blunt damage cards, which he's not weak to in the slightest. He's still, like, it's not strong to it, but it's kind of stronger than the other kind of stuff. I am gonna, however, do this dirty blow. It just chips off some HP. I mean, all 3 of our guys are now fighting this one guy, so even if he attacks one of us, you know, we'll still manage to defeat him with the other 2 guys. So there you go, curtain call. They call it a curtain call, so the curtain has lowered, and we managed to, we pick up, after every battle we pick up, they call them books, so we've got books, and we've resolved these books. Don't ask me, it is so kind of arcane. The systems in this are so kind of murky, which kind of probably throws some people off. I mean, it's not a kind of standard kind of D&D system, or, you know, you fight. It's not like a kind of standard kind of rock paper scissors either, although there is a certain amount of rock paper scissors there. So what do we do with the books? We go and we burn them, crazily enough. Well, it's perfectly fine. So I'm going to... What kind of books do we want to burn? We did get a Book of Mars, so I'm going to add that in. You only want to keep probably 1 of each, so we can probably just burn as much as we want. I'm just going to burn this one Book of Mars because I don't know what kind of stuff we've got left in the... I guess we don't have anything. I guess we've got deflection. That's probably the best one, and we don't want to draw out the green ones because they're too low level. We want to try and get as many deflections as we can. Actually, I'm just going to burn 2. I'm going to burn 2 Books of Mars. I'm going to burn 2 of those. And then these Zwei. Yeah, I think we can probably burn another 4. So yeah, let's go ahead and burn those 8 books. So there you go. It looks a lot like an MMORPG to a certain extent. There you go. We've got a rare deflect there. We've got 2 of them. Oh no, we've got 3 of them. That's pretty good. We can just ignore all of these green ones. We don't need to worry about green cards. Yep, set fire. That's pretty good. Takes my flaming bat. It's a pretty good card. So we've got loads of those now. We've got another 4 of those. Well, 6 of those. Good grief. We've got some shields. A couple of guardians. Guardians look pretty good. We've got 4 of those. And a bunch more guardians. Guardians we like, I think, so it's pretty good. So yeah, you just want to burn as many books as you can. I don't exactly like the nomenclature of burning books necessarily. It's just too many kind of like negative connotations of burning books. I get that they are a library theme, but the burning of books, that's just a bit weird. So I think what we're going to do is go in and fight the second half of that battle. Let's go into the invites as before, and instead of the 1 we'll go to 2. So this is more of a boss battle here. We've got Lulu, who's the boss of these encounters, and then we've got our 2 friends here. However, we're going to need to fight twice. It's going to take a Book of Mars, which we've got. It auto-populates. That threw me off a little bit. So let's send an invite to these guys, and then we can go and fight them. So there you go. Remaining acts 1 out of 2. First off, we'll just fight these 2 friends of Lulu, and then the second act will be Lulu, the boss. Let's get rid of that, and we will roll the dice. I think they're both... Are they both? Yeah, they're both weak to slash. Okay, with a minor in blunt. So I think with the 5, we're just going to gut harvest against this guy. Why not? And we have a 0 as well. So yeah, let's do it with the blunt instead of the piercing. And then these guys, they can... I am going to just rampage, and then gut harvesting. That's the card I want. So here we go. Let's play the hand. That guy first guy managed to defend quite well. The second guy is staggered. Oh, they're both staggered. So we didn't kill either of the bad guys. However, they are both staggered now, so they are now vulnerable to everything, which is nice. So yeah, let's rampage. Now, yeah, this guy's only got two lights on, so you can either dirty blow or overpower. I do like to cause as much bleeding and burns as possible. So even though overpower does slightly less damage, or does it? Yeah, it does. It does slightly less damage. It does do a bleed. and that's, as you would expect, that's damage over time. I mean, we don't necessarily need it. We could probably just do with raw damage, just because we don't need to bleed, because this won't last 2 turns. If you are fighting bosses, it is best to put burns and bleeds on to stack as many negative debuffs as you possibly can. Okay, so that was Act 1. And then the next one is going to be the boss Lulu and 2 more kind of minions. There's Lulu at the back. She says, yeah, I'm going to crack your skull in half. And they give us a bunch of smack talk. That's not a bad roll. Not a good roll. I think what we are going to do is possibly... What is that? What's she weak to? She's weak to slash, right? Yeah, weak to slash, but strong armored against blunt. So I'm going to stick that there. Do we have any zeros? Yeah, we do. I am going to swap to this guy to do the blunt damage. Blunt damage on you. And then slash and pierce on you. Let's do it. Oh, in comes the boss. Yeah, I don't think we're going to stagger anyone this turn. Are we? Oh no, we are. Okay, we staggered one of them. That's pretty good. So all allies, we could gain 1 to 2 strength at the end of each scene, and if the librarian does not deal any damage with offensive dice, we would lose 25% of our health. I am going to cast that one. We've also got a second one. This guy's also weak to slash. So I think that we're going to use that. Okay, so we can do that. We can also cast Overpower as well. We do have plenty of lights. We've got 5 lights in total. There you go. The boss is staggered. Okay, that's the first enemy down. The second enemy minion down. The boss has done a bunch of damage. There you go. That's Lulu down. We got a bunch of books there. So yeah, that was Library of Ruina. If you want to see more, please do leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll try and elucidate these systems a bit more clearly. I mean, I understand most of the systems. If there's any that you guys play, if you do play Library of Ruina, and if there's any you understand, like the number of lights that you're granted every turn, that seems, I don't know exactly how that works, but yeah, leave me a comment, and if you want to see more Library of Ruina, please do leave a like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
I'm sorry about the balls!